Hey everyone! I'm really excited to be starting this series with you. The first thing I want to do is go through what it means, what dialectical behavior therapy means. And it's a big word and it seems like a crazy concept, but I kind of want to go over what it is, what it means, how that affects the series, things like that. So, basically, dialectical means that it's open-minded thinking. The thought that two ideas can be correct at the same time. People with borderline, a lot of the time, the world's just very black and white. Um, Especially with emotions, reading facial expressions, things like that, it's really hard for us to find a middle ground in that situation. And so that, I think, is what makes dialectical behavior therapy so effective for people with borderline personality disorder and people with anxiety, people with depression. I think it's a really important skill group to learn for everyone. It helps you to understand the world as a whole, and it helps you to understand how to step back and look at a situation and make an educated, appropriate decision on how you're going to react to it, which is something that I struggled with a lot before I started DBT. Everything was just the end of the world. Okay, somebody didn't text me back. Rather than going to, oh, they might be busy, there might be something going on with them, maybe they don't have their phone with them, whatever, it's not a big deal. My immediate reaction was, oh, they don't want to talk to me, they don't want to be my friend anymore. I can't believe this just happened. Oh my gosh. And it's an emotional reaction. And it's something that we all do from time to time. But what this program is going to do is teach you how to react in an appropriate manner while we're not going to completely throw emotions aside, because emotions are part of the human experience. It is what makes you you. And so that's not something we're going to do away with. We're just going to learn how to process those emotions effectively. And that can be a bit of a challenge, but I'm going to be here for you all along the way, so don't think you have to do it by yourself. So basically, dialectical means that two ideas can both be true at the same time. There's always more than one true way to see a situation and more than one true opinion, idea, thought, or dream. All people have something unique, different, and worthy to teach us. Two things that seem like opposites can both be true, just depending on the person, their situation, their opinions. There's a lot of things that can go into it. It also goes with a life worth living has both comfortable and uncomfortable aspects, happiness and sadness, anger and peace, hope and discouragement, fear and ease. That's just part of life. Everyone has their ups and downs. Everyone does. It's not just you. You're not dealing with something all by yourself. It's not something that nobody else in the world has ever experienced. It's just part of life. We have good days, we have bad days. We have good situations, we have bad situations. As borderlines, we just have to remember that that is part of life. It's not the end of the world, which is our immediate jump to something bad happened. Oh my gosh, I'm never going to recover. And that's part of borderline. It's part of our habit to think in black and white. And so what this is going to do is teach you how to step back, process that situation, take it for what it is, and just move on with life. And it's helped me a lot. I can't even begin to explain how much it's helped me in my life. It's a really great program, and I'm really excited to be going through it with you guys. So being dialectical means letting go of self-righteous indignations, letting go of black and white, all or nothing ways of seeing a situation, looking for what is left out of your understanding of a situation. Like my example earlier with the text message. They weren't texting me back. I didn't have all the information, so I couldn't jump to conclusions. I couldn't make an assumption because I didn't have all the information. And so something that you'll learn to do is kind of be patient, dig into the situation a little bit, look for all the facts, get a better understanding of it before having an emotional reaction. Really, it's just looking at the whole situation. It's about finding a way to validate the other person's point of view. We all have opinions. We all have our own point of views, and that's fine. You know, people are people. We're not all the same. If we were, the world would be really boring, and we don't want that. Expanding your way of seeing things, getting unstuck from standoffs and conflicts. A lot of us, it's like one or the other. Either we freeze or we overreact because it's an emotional situation. We're going to learn how to handle those situations, conflict, standoffs, things like that better. So I'm really excited about that. Being more flexible and approachable, again, that just goes back to not seeing the whole world in black and white. Avoid assumptions and blaming. That's a big thing. And it's hard not to make assumptions, not to play the blame game. It can be really hard. And it's the way our brains work. It's just the way that we've learned to process things, and that's something that we're going to learn to overcome. So from my understanding, what causes borderline is a history of invalidating treatment from people who are close to us, usually starting early in childhood. Not always, but and so we're used to this feeling of being invalidated, and it's really hard to overcome that. It's like we're constantly fighting to feel like we're valid, our thoughts are valid, our existence is valid, and it is. It's all valid, and it's just a matter of learning to process that. So there you have it, the basics of dialectical behavior therapy. And I'm really excited to get started on this series, and I hope you guys are too.